The Flex Zone Podcast, episode 377, keeping you closer to that sports heaven you want. Only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. Tonight, we have Vegas' finest in the building. We'll reveal who that is momentarily. We're previewing the Royal Rumble, talking about some sports betting and odds for the Super Bowl. Of course, we recap the weekend that was the divisional round and look forward to the conference championship games. Give out game ball, not so game balls, do our picks, and of course, we get goofy with Cravante. The gang's all here. It is the only place giving you sports how you want when you need it. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now, hit that like button, and hit that bell. Flex Zone Podcast coming to you live right after this. More animated than Shannon Sharp at a Lakers game sitting courtside, baby. It's the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place fellas give you sports how you want it.
When you need it.
Episode 377. You heard me in the intro. We're hitting it all. We're hitting those odds. We got one of Vegas' finest, a day one of the Flex Zone family, joining us here on the YouTube platform. We're honored to have him. We're talking NFL, giving our predictions, our preview for the conference championship games, and talking about the week that was. And of course, we get goofy with Cravante, God's favorite host, associate producer here. You guys know who it is. Let's get to the crew because I cannot do the show alone. Big Raj, social media producer. How you feeling, my brother? Big week ahead.
A big week ahead. The Royal Rumble's this Saturday, so we have a special guest on to talk about it and see what those betting odds are. Cravante, Byron, you know all about that. But yeah, man. A lot of things going on. Recap some of that NFL action on this past weekend, and do what we do.
Yes, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell, vote on the poll. Let us know who wins the Super Bowl. We're down to the final four. This next man's the captain of the Goofy ship, the Commander Lorian himself. New season coming soon, Big Raj, and of course, he is the associate producer, the voice of reason, Cravante, baby. We salute you, my brother.
Season's over. Put your damn hands down.
Football never ends.
Y'all already know what it is. Monday night. no, that is very true. No, Queen. There we go. No, you're right. It never ends. Just like football season never really ends. But y'all know what it is. Monday evenings, we back at it in the man cave. We get into the thick of it. The playoffs is getting to that time. And for those of y'all, if y'all don't know, I know I told Dre and I told y'all I was going on a trip with Omar. We're going to Vegas this weekend. So you already know I'm gonna put a little something on the championship games. You already know. So I'm gonna hit up our guy Ralph, see what he's talking about for the championship games and the Super Bowl. So yeah, definitely excited.
Yes. This next man, he is the tribal chief. He is the head of the Flex Zone table. You can start your day with a cup of Dre each and every day. Mr. 25-8, the man who really should enter number one and outlast 29 other men and go on to face The Rock at WrestleMania. He is the super producer, the pride of the East Side, savior misbehavior, and co-creator of this here show. It is my brother, the professor, the dean of Balso Hard University, Mr. Morgan State himself, Drizzy Dre.
Everybody get them ones up. You already know what it is. It's the Flex Zone. I'm really excited today. A lot is on the table, so let's get right to it.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, Miss Queen Mia, Lamar, Mark. Love y'all. Hit the like button, vote on the poll. Let us know your thoughts. This next guest needs no introduction, but we're going to do it anyway. He's a day one Flex Zone family member. He is Vegas's finest. He has the betting odds. He can tell you how to bet on certain things, where to put your money, what's going to happen before it happens with his predictions. And like Paul Heyman says, spoilers as well. He can help you stay in the green, which we like here on the Flex Zone Podcast. Make sure you hit the like button and keep us in the green. We bring from Vegas, Raphael Esparza into the building. Ralph, what's going on?
What's going on, gentlemen?
Nothing much, brother. How are you?
Ralph?
Hey. Nothing. But when I can't sleep, I just want to call you for your voice can just calm me down after a very stressful day, and I can just I can take a nice nap. But it's busy. You just said it. Saturday, yeah, the Royal Rumble is Saturday, but we have 164 college basketball games on Saturday. We got NBA, we got hockey, we have a nice boxing match. I'm just glad UFC took Saturday off so I can just concentrate on Rumble, college hoops, and some NBA and hockey. But yeah, it's a crazy time. And then Sunday you have the Final Four in the NFL, and you're going to be in my backyard enjoying the NFL on this. So it should be interesting because I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of San Francisco 49er fans probably in Vegas. And probably a lot of Patrick Mahomes fans in Vegas. So I would think those are the two crowds you're probably going to see.
Well, on the show, Ruff, we call him the tribal chief, much like Roman Reigns. For the people who don't know what you do, let the people know what you do, how to keep up with you, and just some of your background.
Well, I'm an odds maker. I post odds for pretty much every crazy event that you can think of. Wrestling I was probably one of the first odds maker to put odds on wrestling because after I found out the real scoop that goes behind backstage in these pay-per-view events and stuff like that, and being on a lot of wrestling podcasts, Freddie Prinze Jr., shout out to him, been on his show many times and stuff like that. So I really dove into it and now doing a prop betting and stuff like that. But I do entertainment odds, movie odds, political. I mean, anyone can do the Final Four, San Francisco Eagles, Bengals, Chiefs betting odds and stuff like that. But I want to know the crazy ones, like the missed field goals for the Dallas Cowboys I had. Will he hit the crossbar on a missed field goal and stuff like that? Will he be benched by the second quarter, third quarter? Those are the stuff that I like to do and to do a lot of research. I worked in Vegas on a Vegas strip for almost 15 Super Bowls. We don't count years in Vegas and sports books. You count Super Bowls. So I worked 14 Super Bowls there and retired from corporate life and now do my own thing. Like I said, I do multiple odds for multiple books, U.S. and global. So if they call me up and say, hey, I'm doing John Wick movie 4 betting odds pretty soon. How many kills would John Wick going to have in this fourth film? So I'll be researching that today or tonight and tomorrow doing that. So it's always a fun time. A lot of research.
Man, I love it.
Let's get into it.
Hey, yo, Mark. y'all see Mark's comment? Mark, come on, baby. Me and you both, man.
Get your notepad out.
Now I got the pressure from Mark. I don't know who Mark is. Now I got pressure.
All right, fellas, go ahead and get into it.
All right, I guess my first question is I guess let's start with Saturday, the Royal Rumble. What are the betting odds for the Royal Rumble?
Well, we were talking off the air and stuff like that. It's all about storylines on this one. I think we're going to find out a lot of maybe the storylines on probably Friday SmackDown on who can maybe be surprising, who couldn't. And let's all face it, we all believe Cody Rhodes is probably going to win it. I mean, you have to give the guy that pretty much wrestled with a torn bicep. I wish I had biceps or triceps or any muscle he tore before he went on a dock and all that. I think he deserves the praise of coming back. I think they need someone to carry that now that Roman Reigns is probably going to be off for a while when he drops one of the belts. I don't think he's going to drop both the belts now that Vince is here. I think he just drops one of them and then maybe fades away for a little bit. And so Cody can kind of carry the show a little bit. If that's not the case, and maybe Sami Zayn backstabs the tribal chief and the Usos, then you maybe could see possibly him winning it, and then you can have the storylines of him and Roman if they can't get to The Rock to come up to WrestleMania. Because right now, I heard from multiple sources The Rock is trying to pull all his magic. Because don't forget the XFL starts in February, so that's going to probably pull a lot of his time. He has a lot of speaking spots to go on with the XFL kicking off on February. So I know he has a lot of stuff he's trying to move around to try to make either the Rumble or a WrestleMania. But I know since it's in LA, they kind of want that big splash on there. And that would be probably one of the bigger splashes that I can remember, besides maybe Undertaker losing in the Rumble, is The Rock coming out and facing Roman Reigns. I have Cody Rhodes winning it, but don't sleep on Sami Zayn, of course, The Rock. I think maybe the sleeper, and I'm hoping it's not, is if Brock Lesnar comes out and wins again. I just don't see him winning back-to-back Rumbles. But I would not be shocked. And if they really run it, and what I'm hearing, he's pumping up his rehab. His rehab's going really, really well. And I was totally blown away how he did his first match. Was Logan Paul. I mean, if you're going to have a draw and have media hits and people on it, that would be kind of interesting. We got him at 50-1. He opened up at 100-1. So people have been betting on that. And I was impressed between him and Bad Bunny. Those two really blew me away on their first days of wrestling and that big pay-per-view events, that they hold their own. So I got to give both of them, especially Bad Bunny. I think he's probably the one that's still put the bar really, really high on wrestling for an intro. But I would say keep an eye on that one. Then, of course, you have maybe Kevin Owens and maybe Solo, which I heard backstage are really trying to get his, I hate to say acting, but his mic work. They really want him to boost up his mic work, because if he can hold the mic and maybe hold his own, I think he can go far.
Yeah, because he hasn't been talking at all.
Nope.
I got a quick question for you real quick, Ralph. What are the odds, the betting odds, that Vince McMahon makes an appearance at WrestleMania?
I'm hearing no right now, because I heard the main reasons why he came back. And I don't want to say he's sticking it to the people that let him that he had to retire because of his stuff like that. I just heard that he probably wants to sell before, his time is up. And he ain't getting any younger and stuff like that. And I think this is probably the pride of the amount of money he can probably get right now. I thought the rumors that the Saudi Arabians were going to buy it, I thought that was just a big rumor, because he wants Comcast and he wants Disney to buy it, one of those two. So I think I wouldn't be shocked if Vince McMahon brought out the rumors and say, I'm selling it to the Saudi Arabians, just where he can boost the prices up for those other ones. I have right now, you can bet on that, who's going to buy WWE right now, and Comcast, and I think Disney. Don't sleep on The Rock. I know his people are looking involved in it on that as well. But I would not be shocked if it's one of the ones that they already have, Fox, since they already have a deal with that and all that. And Fox might be losing the NFL maybe in the 5 years, so they'll have a little bit more extra money down the road on that one. So, but I would be shocked if Vince McMahon comes out anytime soon, just because of the negativity. He's still getting the negativity. I mean, the wrestlers didn't even want him to come back.
Right. Yeah, I heard that. Go ahead, Byron.
Go ahead, Cravante. You want to switch gears?
Yes,
Fire
sir.
away.
Yes, sir. All right. So we have some. Well, honestly, first things first. Before I get into the playoffs, what are the odds that the Commanders will be sold before March?
Probably not March. I'm hearing sometime in the summer. They will be the first team, I think, that will be sold, because there's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of stuff. Not just the Commanders, a lot of other pro sports that be sold. They'll be the first ones probably sold. I always thought it was going to be either the Oakland A's going to maybe Vegas, or maybe jumping over to Canada, where I think Canada should have a baseball team, or the Milwaukee Bucks sneaking out and maybe jumping over to Seattle. But I still think the Commanders. Are probably going to be the first one sold. The major sports being sold. But yeah, I'm hearing there's a lot of good sports that's out there that I think that could be losing some relocation fees pretty soon.
Woo! I wasn't expecting none of that.
I wasn't expecting that either. But
look for the Phoenix Suns too. The Phoenix Suns.
I heard.
With the mess that the Coyotes are, they're playing in some high school gym right now. The Arizona Coyotes, and so far of the football stadium and all that. I would not be shocked if Phoenix just ties knots and say, you know what, we're out.
Wow. Well, speaking of being out right now, Baltimore. There's rumors about the Orioles. What's going on with those odds?
Baltimore is kind of iffy. What I understood is the Ripken crew. I mean, his big companies. I think they will go all in to leave it there. I don't see the Baltimore Orioles going anywhere. I would say probably a new stadium before they jump ship and leave that. Just because I've heard of the Ripken family and the company they have will probably jump ship and go all in.
What about the Baltimore Ravens? There's been rumors that they could be having new ownership as well.
I think they need to be worried about who's going to be the quarterback next year than about their ownership. But those are two different questions. Not as much, like I said, I think right now, and when you talk about owners and selling right now, especially in the NFL, it's all about Washington. I think maybe dominoes might fall on who purchases it because there's going to be a lot of billionaires upset that they didn't win the bid on Washington. So they might want to stick around and see if there's another whisper going in there that NFL team wants to sell.
So I hear that I hear that Bezos is selling the Washington Post in an effort to jump back into the bid for the Commanders.
Like I said, there's going to be a lot of billionaires that are going to be upset that thought they maybe had the front runner job of Washington and they lose out. And when you piss off white billionaires, they want to buy something right afterwards.
They got retail therapy.
Too much.
Probably not.
Ralph, real quick before we get to the playoffs, odds on Tom Brady where he plays next year, because I don't think he's done.
I think it's either Raiders or he's done. I don't see him Tampa Bay. With Leftwich going out. I mean, I know.
Yeah, the Ravens are going to trade for Chris Godwin in the offseason. That's what we're hoping for. They're rebuilding.
I like with Leftwich being gone. It just tells you I think that he's out of Tampa Bay unless for some odd reason he says, "Hey, hire this person and I'll stay," which I don't see that happening because Tampa Bay's offense was really, really old. I mean, when you're living and dying on Leonard Fournette. That means you have some problems on your offense. So I think it's either Raiders or done. I would say you could probably throw up San Francisco maybe a couple months ago. I would think it would have been battle between Brady and Aaron Rodgers going to San Francisco. But I'm sorry. If you're a quarterback, if you're a team in the NFL that needs a quarterback, you pick up the phone and call 49ers because they have Trey Lance and Jimmy G.
They got him.
There's no way they're going to pull the plug on Brock. Getting them to the championship right now. The players like him. Debo loves him. Debo says he's so calm in the huddle. He's like he'll make a mistake in practice, and you wouldn't even know. He's like Debo likes him, and if CMC and Debo like him, pick up the phone because Trey Lance and Jimmy G are available.
What are the odds for the NFL playoffs this weekend?
Oh well, before you get to the playoffs, I gotta ask this question. I'm sorry. Lamar Jackson. I know he's on a trade block right now. Teams are looking at him like food.
Don't listen to him, Ralph. He's not on the trade block.
He's on a trade block.
Which
team? If he doesn't re-sign with the Ravens, which team you think might have a chance? What are the betting?
I would say right now the leader we have at the Atlanta Falcons at plus 4-1. I don't see that happening because I think they're in total. I don't want to say still in rebuild mode, but I was really shocked on how well they played this year. I mean, they probably needed a quarterback, but I just don't think they're a couple of years. And if I'm Lamar, I kind of want to go to a competitor and stuff like that. I would say don't look on the Jets. I mean, if they strike out with Aaron Rodgers and all these other ones, I think the Jets might be up there. I think the Bucks could be also up there if they lose Brady. They're needing a quarterback because let's face it, the NFC South, us five guys can probably win a game in the NFC South. So that division is wide open. And, of course, you can throw in the Raiders and whoever, the Commanders, the teams who are going to miss out on the Cars, the Jimmy G's, and all that. My gut is telling me I think Lamar is not coming back to Baltimore. I think, I don't understand why he didn't get an agent. I think if he had an agent, he's signed – probably top 3 quarterback money right now, and we wouldn't be having this discussion. But his health and I think not having an agent probably cost him a lot of coin.
And he doesn't want to negotiate, Ralph. He's demanding things. After the owner already said he's not giving you a guaranteed contract. You got to and you've been hurt the last 2 years. You missed 11 games. Just saying.
It's a shame. I like him. I met him once, and I thought he was a very nice guy, very shy, but very you can just tell – He's all in and stuff like that, and I respect him. But yeah, I think he probably lost $100 million.
So if you think he lost $100 million, what do you think his contract might be, and do you think he will get that guaranteed contract he's searching for?
I don't think he's gonna get that guaranteed contract he wanted, whatever that he turned down or whatever he wanted. I don't think he gets that one. I think if he would have stayed healthy this year, and let's say had a really good year and maybe lost the playoffs because they didn't have home field advantage or something like that, I think he would have got close to it. but I don't think he gets what he was asking for. I would be totally blown away. I mean, I've been wrong many times. Just ask my wife. I've been married 20 plus years, but I'll be totally shocked if he gets what he really wants.
Yeah. Well,
That's Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson could probably give him good advice. He got what he wants, and he stinks.
He ain't cooking no more.
Well, what are the odds for this weekend, Ralph, for the playoffs?
First one's the 49ers and Eagles, and I'm glad this one's the first one because I think this one's going to be the best one. So maybe I can help cook dinner in the second one or do something and all that because I think that one might be interesting. For Eagles 2.5, the total's 45.5. We can throw all the quarterback injury out the window for the Eagles. I think we should talk about the Eagles defense, not the Eagles offense in this game because they're going to need that. Because I don't see the Eagles offense doing what the Cowboys did to CMC and Debo. I think it's going to be totally different. I think they're going to probably move CMC and Debo around and use them much different than we saw last week. So I think that might be different. I think it's going to be a defense battle. I'm a little bit shocked that the total is 45.5. I thought it was going to be like around 43 because both Ds are really good. I think the Eagles are probably going to win this one, but it wouldn't shock me to see the 49ers win. I mean, how can you not cheer for a guy that's Mr. Irrelevant that's still in the playoffs? I'm hoping they make a Disney movie out of this one because I'm still mad I had to watch the Kurt Warner crappy movie in Disney. His movie was horrible. And they better make this guy's movie in Netflix or Hulu XXX or something because that Kurt Warner movie was horrible. The second game is Cincy KC. Since I'm part of the media and I have to sign a lot of contracts, so I jump on people's shows, we're not allowed to make fun of Patrick Mahomes because it's against the law. We're not allowed to say anything bad about because he's the next GOAT. He's going to be better than Tom. He's going to be better than Tom Brady. That's what ESPN and Fox and the media tell us. We're not allowed to make fun of Patrick Mahomes. So Kansas City wins by 100 because it's Patrick Mahomes. He's the greatest quarterback to ever play the game, as the media tells us to say. But I do think they get their revenge. I do think they get their revenge against Joe Cool. I think they win this game. I like them at home, and I'm a little bit shocked because they opened up as a 2-point favorite to Kansas City at home, and now the Bengals are 1.5-point favorites.
What about the injury to Mahomes? Do you think that has something to do with it?
Yes and no, but I'm sorry, their backup Haney took them 90+ yards down the field and scored a touchdown. So. They have so many weapons, and they're tight ends. Both of them can catch the ball and run perfect routes, and so I'm not really worried about Patrick Mahomes and stuff like that. But I think they get the revenge. I think I wouldn't mind seeing the Eagles and Chiefs on there. I don't care who wins the NFC, but I think Kansas City is going into the Super Bowl.
I actually saw that the odds open at my bad, Byron.
Go ahead.
I actually saw that the odds open at -3. Well, it got up to -3 for the Chiefs, and then it completely flipped to -1 for the Bengals.
Yeah, it shows
usually when there's that big of a flip, what happens?
Six-figure bets happened. Six-figure bets happened. That's what happened. No injuries. No. We saw Patrick Mahomes limping around in the shower. Nothing like that. Money moved that one. So I've seen multiple 6-figure bets come in right away when a game posted, and the total moved 3 points. We opened up the total at 49.5, and it's now 46.5. So. A lot of big money came in, and I actually heard the next day, even the next day, Patrick Mahomes wasn't even really limping. It's just a really high. He's not that much swelling. It wasn't like Pollard yesterday, who actually broke his leg. Almost a similar kind of tackle and play that Patrick Mahomes had. If you put them side by side, it was pretty much almost identical. And Pollard breaks his leg. Hopefully he comes back because he's getting ready to get paid because he's got a contract coming. So hopefully it doesn't affect that. But I think Patrick Mahomes will be 75-80%. Oh, I'm sorry. You guys are part of media. He's going to be 110%, and he's going to throw for 5 touchdowns and run for 5 touchdowns.
So you say it'll be 50%. I got you.
So question, when you were talking about like the odds, what can you break those down for people who may not know what you exactly mean?
Well, right now the Cincinnati Bengals are 1.5-point favorites on the road. So if you want to bet the Kansas City Chiefs to win, you're getting plus 1.5. So if these kickers that only have one job can't make a kick and they lose by 1 point, and you got plus 1.5 on the Chiefs, you're still going to win. If you got the Bengals are minus 1.5, you have to win by 2 points. So if you win 22-20, something like that, you would win that one. So that they're a road favorite, which is very rare to see a road favorite in NFC and AFC championship. Same thing for the San Francisco and the Eagles. The Eagles are 2.5-point favorites at home. So if you bet the Eagles, you have to win by a field goal. Field goal or more, you get to cash your ticket. Now, if you're the 49ers and you lose, let's say 49-48, and the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl, that doesn't matter because you're cashing your ticket and you're putting some money in your wallet. So
I want to ask you about NBA real quick because we got LeBron about to break Kareem's record. I know you can probably bet on that all types of ways.
Yes.
In this Western Conference, are the Nuggets and Grizzlies really going to go to the finals? Possibly.
I really like the Nuggets. I think their bench is a little bit deeper. I think they're going to be. I love the Grizzlies. I always feel like when I'm watching them, they're still kind of really too young, and I just like the way the Denver plays. I just think their benches. It's going to be one of those two. I don't see anybody else coming out unless the Warriors do some trades where they're begging and begging. They're calling around trying to get people to buy some of their garbage that they thought they had that could have been dream jobs, and they're not. So unless the Golden State Warriors get some trade assets and bolster their bench, I think it's going to be between the Nuggets and Grizzlies. Right now, I'm going to have to say the Nuggets. And how will LeBron break the all-time? The 2-point shot is the favorite at minus $2. Free throws 3-1, and 3-point shot is 5-1. I almost put Woody break the record by a hook shot.
You might break it by a dunk.
That's why everyone. If I put dunk, everyone would have bet that. So I'm like a 2-point shot, so then I can just have a little bit more flexibility on the money coming in.
Is there any odds as to the exact? Is there any odds as to the exact date since he's 224 points away?
We had the exact dates a while back. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. We had what team was he going to break it with another. But there's a lot of really, really interesting rumors floating around about maybe the Lakers dangling LeBron James. One of the bigger ones, or the two ones, is swapping LeBron for KD or swapping LeBron over to the Bulls and having a big patch with DeRozan. I can't think of the other two guys, and LeBron would agree to that because then he can, play in Jordan's shadow. I think his son will be really, really well, and they can maybe build around the son going over there. I think it would probably help the Lakers payroll if that was the case. I don't see it happening, but I would not be shocked if you hear his name. I like the move that the Lakers did today. I think they're going to probably make maybe one more. Nothing too outrageous. I mean, they would love to get rid of Russell Westbrook. I said I could give him a 6-pack of Coronas if Westbrook wants to be my intern.
Russell ain't playing that bad this year, though. Not as bad.
He's not. That contract is bad. He's not playing bad. That contract is bad.
Are there any odds as to the Lakers obtaining Buddy Hield from Indiana?
I think that Buddy Hield thing is probably shut down now on what they did the trade with Washington. So I think that's probably not going to happen. Buddy Hield is rumored to be all over the place. There's rumor for him going to Phoenix. There's rumor for him to going to Golden State. I think he's gone. Look for the Sacramento Kings to maybe do some stuff to. But I mean, who would have thought the Sacramento Kings would be this good right now? And I think if they can get one more veteran scorer, they're going to be a tough out. Buddy Hield going back to Sacramento, it would be kind of interesting. But I think Buddy Hield, him, and would not be shocked if the Bulls split up one of their dynamic duels of Zach LaVine or DeRozan.
Oh, well, my boy Paul, while he's on, I got to ask about the WNBA. What are the odds for the WNBA right now?
Every time I blink, there's a massive trade or someone's stuff like that. So I had odds out a couple weeks ago, and then I took them down because, like I said, there's just been some crazy trades and demands. We don't even know where Stewart's going yet. I think she's dwindled her teams to 3. So I'm going to pump the brakes and see where all these stuff happens in the WNBA. And this draft is going to be crazy coming out for the WNBA for the draft. They got some good key girls from South Carolina, LSU, Ohio State. There's some good ladies coming out and coming into the league in this one. But man, I can't remember the last time I've seen so many big trades in any league. I'm throwing every league than what the WNBA has done the last 36 hours.
I got one more question for you. I'm a huge boxing fan, and I love Tank. It's his next fight. Tank versus
don't
Ryan
ask
Garcia.
me this.
You the man to ask. What are those odds, man? What are those odds? We were Tank and Garcia.
I like Garcia. I think he gets him by the hook, the left hook that the Garcia lands all the time because people don't see it. If you're Garcia's a small favorite, we opened him up, and we just getting some fantastic. I'm trying to find current odds right now. Tank is now 2-1. He's minus $2. Garcia's plus 160. We're getting really good two-way action on this one. I think the longer the fight goes, it's better for Tank, because I think if you're Garcia, you need to end it probably eight or less, because I think Tank goes to the body like no one else does in the late rounds, which it's very rare to see. That most boxers go to the body early so they can drop their guard down and the face is open, where Tank likes to go in the middle because people are sucking wind already in the second, and he really wants them to suck wind. So the longer that fight goes, I think the better for Tank. I like Garcia in this fight. No disrespect to your boy Tank. I like both of them as fighters, but I think Garcia, I think he has a little bit too quick of hands for him.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, I guess while we're still on the boxing, Tyson Fury, are there any? What are the odds for him losing the belt right now?
I think he will fight Usyk next. I know everyone wants him to fight Francis Ngannou, who's now out of his UFC contract. But I think Tyson fights Usyk once. If he wins it, then I don't think he fights another meaningless fight. I think he drops the titles and just does celebrity fights and makes ridiculous amount of money, like Floyd Mayweather's doing right now, just boxing YouTubers and just bringing in tons of cash. If he loses, then I'm sure he's going to have a guaranteed contract to have a rematch. But I do think he fights Alexander Usyk next. I'm hearing sometime maybe in July, maybe September. It all depends on what Canelo does. I know he's recovering from surgery, because these fighters, they have so much pride. They don't want to piggyback on any other. They want to have their own month. So if Canelo's fighting 1 month or something like that, another big fighter can't jump in the same month. But I still think that fight happens.
And somebody had a question, Matthew. Can we bring that up, Byron?
Right here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cena. I'm hearing Cena wants to come back, but let's face it, I don't think, including myself, his HBO show, I can't think about the Peacemaker, was outstanding. It was hilarious. I couldn't believe how good he was in it. And they've already started filming on that. So I think that's kind of hurting him on doing some stuff for Rumble and Mania right now. But he wants to come back. But he says when he comes back and wins that 17th title, he just doesn't want to win it and then go away. He says he kind of wants to do maybe like a 2-3, like what Edge did, come back, have like maybe 2 or 3 matches and stuff like that. He doesn't want to just skate away. But the Peacemaker and a lot of he's getting a lot. He's getting a lot of TV roles and movie roles coming. He's almost like Batista. I mean, I thought Batista was a horrible actor, but what they're using him for is really brilliant. And I think what John Cena did in Peacemaker, the comedy and his physique and the storyline, I was a little bit blown away on how well that was for him.
What are the odds for him winning that 17th World Championship?
We had that up, and it was minus $5 yes, and everyone was betting the yes. Because, I mean, let's face it, he's probably the Mount Rushmore face of wrestling right now, especially in this generation, where my generation, I would probably have to say, was Flair or Hogan. I mean, the generation right now, they're going to say John Cena is that face. So they're going to give him whatever he wants to break whatever title he wants. He will be back at winning that belt.
Ralph, let the people know how to keep up with you.
You can find me on social media at VSI.sports. You can find me on Instagram, Raphael Esparza. You can also find my other Twitter handle, You Can Bet That. It's a website that just gives you all the crazy odds and where you can go get them and where you can go bet them. It's all about the funny stuff, politics, movies, all that stuff. I just put out how much money would Shohei Ohtani get in his next contract, over under $245 million, the best baseball player to ever play the game right now. Look for him to be a Yankee probably in 3 or 4 years. So, but I think they gave Aaron Judge too much money. I think they should have let Aaron Judge go to San Francisco and gave Ohtani that, because that would have cured the Yankees pitching and hitting all in one guy. But they messed up and had to give the money to Aaron Judge for what he did. But I think he ends up there. But yeah, it's a good site, and like I said, it's always good. Great wrestling stuff and all that on there. So you can bet that.com and all that other good stuff. But I enjoy you guys. Like I said, I'm a day oneer. I've been watching you guys since day one. I've been in contact with you guys. So anytime you guys have any questions or stuff like that, feel free to chime on in. Like I said, it should be a fun time for you in Vegas this weekend because it's not going to be too hot. The pools are open. Just don't go in there and with your mouth open in the pools in the club in the casino. That's my tip for you.
Who wins the Super Bowl? Who wins the Super Bowl real quick, Ralph?
I said from day one it was going to stay in California. My original pick was the Chargers. I'm still kind of in it because the 49ers are from California. I'm going to say it's staying. I'm going to say it's in the NFC. I think whoever wins San Francisco and the Eagles, I think that they're your Super Bowl. Even though if Patrick Mahomes there, then I'll get fined again. I probably just got fined again right now. But I think whoever wins the Eagles, 49ers win the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. I like Hurts. I thought how he handled himself in Oklahoma and all that, and then coming into the league. I would not be disappointed if he wins it. Well deserved.
Give it up one more time.
I'm just hoping to go to the parade in Philly. That's what I hope.
You guys have a fantastic. And Batista was great. Knives Out. That's what I'm saying. Stuff like that. So you were 100% correct, Paul. But you guys have a fantastic rest of the show. Again, all good praises for you guys. Love you guys. Day one are here. So
if you ever want to pop in on some of our live streams, we live stream all the pay-per-views, WWE, AEW. We're doing one Saturday. So let us know. You're more than welcome to hop on for a few minutes or just.
Maybe I'll do it on Saturday because, like I said, I'll be just sitting here. Grading prop bets and and I'm going to be watching Creed 3 because someone sent it to me already, so I can grade those prop bets.
Oh wow,
nice!
Yeah, okay. you guys have to wait all the way till March, and I get to watch it on Saturday.
Lucky you.
That's so cool.
I'm still kind of mad at Balboa or Mr. T's on it. If you're going to have a Creed 3, how do you not have Mr. T not in it? I just don't understand it.
Why is not Mr. T Jonathan Major's father? I'm just saying.
That would have been a dope storyline.
That would have been a good. I agree. I would agree on that. Would have been.
Maybe he shows up in the post credits. Maybe that's the end tag.
There is a Creed 4. I could tell you that. Okay. I spoke to the producers and because I sent them and stuff like that, and they said they are working on a Creed 4.
Well, real quick before you do exit, is there any bets about how many Creeds there will be?
No, I would not be shocked if 4 is the next. Unless maybe one of Nick Cannon's sons wants to come in and do it because he's got 13, 14, 15 babies. They could probably carry on the Creed movies.
That's true. You're right.
Oh man, Ralph, we appreciate it, brother.
Wait. One more. What is the most popular prop bet for this weekend in football?
It's probably going to be in the kicking range right now. One of the kickers miss an extra point. I think a lot of people will probably still bet on that because what we saw the other day on that one. Probably how many rushing yards will Patrick Mahomes have? We're probably going to put over under. I think we're going back and forth 44.5, 42.5. I think people are going to see what happened last year. They're going to be betting in under, and would not be shocked if he runs for 1,000 yards. And they win by 50 touchdowns because he's the greatest gift of quarterbacks to ever play the game.
Once again, give it up for Ralph, y'all. Thanks, Ralph.
Yes, sir.
Take it easy, guys. Have a fantastic evening.
Appreciate you.
All right,
man.
One more time, give it up for Ralph. Joining us from Vegas, getting those odds, helping you stay in the green and make some money. Let's see where we want to go here. Let's go real quick to this
Some
trade.
news. Oh,
We'll go to the trade because it affects everybody here, the Lakers fans, and we have a Wizards fan. I just want to get your quick thoughts. I did a video earlier, guys. Dre, I'll
Yes,
start with
great,
you.
great video. Check that out, y'all.
Thank you.
Very informative.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's linked down below. Dre, how you feeling, man? It's an upgrade. The Lakers steal from the Wizards again.
I feel good about the fact that the Lakers now have another shooter. And again, y'all check out Byron's video. He was really able to break everything down for us as far as the trade. So I think it helps the Lakers, but like you said in the video, at this point, maybe like the play-in at most. We'll see about what happens from there, but at least it looks like the Lakers will at least be in playoff contention. So I'm happy about that.
Go ahead, Big Raj. How you feeling about it?
Oh yes, Brock
Lesnar is back to feud with Lashley.
Yeah, Brock is back to do what he does best.
Oh, so they'll probably make a match for Saturday. Oh joy.
Yeah. Another.
Oh, he should have F5'd him through the table.
That's how I know Vince is back. But okay.
Yeah, but how I feel about this, I'm conflicted because these both my teams, and I don't know what the hell the Wizards are doing. I don't understand why you don't get one of those first round picks from the Lakers if you're going to go this route. And they just gave up somebody, that's been doing pretty good since Bradley Beal's been hurt most of the year. So the last couple games, Roy was, hitting. I think he had like 30 points each game coming off the bench, and it's just like it feels like the Wizards are giving up again, and they're going to, I guess, sell off a lot of players now since they sold off one of their, biggest assets. But I feel conflicted about this. I'm happy for the Lakers because they need another shooter, as Dre said, and they're going to be even a better team with Rui Hachimura, and LeBron's going to be able to get some rest because he needs rest. Jesus, carrying this damn team since Anthony Davis been gone for the last month and a half. But the Lakers didn't have to give up none of them first round picks. So this is a great trade. This is an awesome trade. This is phenomenal. So I'm happy for them. Congrats to the GM. What's the dude name?
Rob Pelinka.
Congrats to him for stealing this pick from the Wizards. Is going to do wonders because I think the Lakers will pay Rui Hachimura what he wants in the extension. So I think he'll stay for a good minute. And this helps, them be a little bit younger as well, since he's 24 years old. And it does a lot for them, offensively and defensively. Thomas Bryant has been killing, man. Bryant,
he's been killing.
So that's I feel like that's another steal that the Lakers got from the Wizards. It's like they got him as well, and he's averaging almost like 25 since Anthony Davis has went down. So like I said, I feel conflicted because I want both of my teams to be great, but I feel like the Wizards every year they build you up, and then piece by piece they break it down some type of way, and I just feel like they just gave up on probably making the playoffs or even making a play-in tournament with giving away Rui Hachimura for nothing.
I'm curious who this other trade is that Ralph was talking about that the Lakers made.
I think it could be Jay Crowder. That's what I said in the video. He's just sitting there. I don't think Westbrook's getting traded because I think it would have been happened. And I think you keep LeBron, you get AD back, you got Rui. Maybe go get you a Jay Crowder because he can shoot and defend 3 and D. So that's my theory. If he doesn't go somewhere else. But Cravante, you are our resident Wizards fan. I actually think the Wizards should trade everybody except for Kyle Kuzma and Porzingis. Even Bradley Beal can go. And the coach.
Like when we see in TV shows where kids like trade lunches or trade candy, and when you see a swap and one of the guys that swapped just ends up taking it anyway, it ends up having both pieces of candy or both lunches. I feel like that's what keeps happening in these Lakers and Wizards trades. Like it's like a bullying move. And like Raj said, I think the Wizards, this is one of the earliest times I've seen the Wizards give up. Like, it's not even the All-Star break. and it seems like the Wizards are throwing in the towel, giving up one of our promising young assets, and it's like, and I already heard Kyle Kuzma was being shot, so I don't know what to look forward to. I don't know what to look forward to as a Wizards fan moving forward. I believe they got a bunch of twos. I think for the Rui pick. If not, I mean for Rui, three twos.
3 twos.
I don't know, man. Picks aren't as valuable in basketball as it is in football, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but those two don't mean that much to me. I mean, but again, their scouts are out working. Maybe they know something we don't know, but twos, the draft picks just aren't as valuable. You need players to win NBA. You need seasoned, ready to play players in the NFL. I mean, I'm sorry, in the NBA. And the Wizards seem like they're losing on both accounts.
But they're always in the middle. It seems like they're. I think we're at 20 and 26 right now, or something like that. That's their record. But it just feels like they have it. They have the pieces to get it done. It just they always find a way to get hurt at the wrong time. Somebody's out for an extended period of time, like Bradley Beal, and then Porzingis is out for a little bit, and then Rory is out for a little bit, and Kyle Kuzma is out, and they just seem to rotate.
Rotate injuries.
Nobody's like fully healthy on this damn team. And now that everybody's fully healthy, now you trade Rory Hachimura after you won your last 2 games. I don't get it. I don't understand this organization. I don't. It frustrates me from the end, end to end, because they do this every year. It's like they put a good team together and then they screw it up, and then nobody stays healthy, and then we start over again, and then you pay Bradley Beal $250 million.
That's why I said Bradley Beal should never sign that extension. Man.
No, he should have signed it. He should have signed it to get his money, but
go ahead, trade him to the Lakers. Go ahead, trade him to the Lakers while y'all at it.
Yes.
We don't have money for that. We got no money to trade him to the Lakers.
I'll get rid of AD.
No.
Get rid of AD.
Well, speaking of getting rid of people, the Ravens got rid of Greg Roman. Raj did a video on that last week. The Ravens are interviewing a lot of people, which is good and bad. Nah, I'll leave that for a video later. But anyway, go ahead, Raj. How you feeling?
I'm happy that he's gone. I'm glad that he's gone. Honestly, I was sick of the play calling, especially the calls that affect the game the most. He'd be calling these ridiculous plays. I mean, but he was a great run. He's a great coordinator if you have a rookie quarterback. You're trying to ease them on into the league, like a Cam Cameron with Joe Flacco back, 10 plus years ago. He's good for about 2 years. He introduces you to the game. He takes you a little bit far, but after that, he gets stale. It gets plain. There's no growth, and it's time for him to go. Now, I think we should have, let him go back in 2020 when he was, going for a coaching job. I think they should have found a way to get him a head coaching job somewhere and get, refreshed it up, did something, later on that year or whatever, so that Lamar could grow in a passing offense. But we didn't do that. We kept him the whole 5 years, and this is where we're at right now. So I think they waited 3 years too late to get rid of him. He's a great run game coordinator, always number 1, number 2, number 3, in a run game offense, but his passing offense was always suspect, always shoddy, always in the 20s, the low 20s, sometimes the 30s too, and that's just not getting the job done. So they finally got rid of him. I'm happy about it, but at the same effect, it's just like, well, we could have did that and revamped this offense and probably been better off for it. Maybe Hollywood stays, maybe we get some other wide receivers that want to come here, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I'm glad he's gone, man. I'm glad he's gone. Let's see who they bring in. I'm hearing rumors that Eric Bieniemy, might be interviewing for the job. I mean,
Raj, they're interviewing every offensive position coach in the NFL, which worries me because I feel like they're going to do something goofy and not pick any of them and pick somebody that's already in the building.
well, it depends on.
Guys. Well, I'm also interviewing next Tuesday. So
Got anybody calling plays?
they call me too.
Well, that depends on Lamar Jackson. Remember
That's why I said
what
it's
Harbaugh
all
said.
in the follow-up, Raj. It's great to fire him, but you have to upgrade at multiple positions as well as the coordinator. You can't just hire a coordinator and think it's going to work without the players.
Exactly. But you heard what Harbaugh said. He said that Lamar has this. He gets a chance to have his say on who gets hired. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, they have to kiss his ass. They just brought in his cousin, to be a part of the team. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I got my fingers crossed. I know we had Ralph on. He said he's probably going to get traded, but
He's not.
I don't know where this goes. I just hope they hire the right candidate, and I hope that Lamar is the quarterback that's going to lead this team for years to come.
He needs to be the damn quarterback. Shoot, you see that division. Paul, no, they like we said, we don't have. I don't think that they have the talent quite yet. They gotta first get the coordinator, John Harbaugh. I think his seat needs to be warm. I'm not gonna say hot, but at least it needs to be warm with what's happened.
I think he was on the Wizards. I think he was on the Wizards. I think that was the Wizards because he said that a few minutes ago.
Oh, okay. That well, shoot, the Wizards, shoot, we already said what they need to do. But I mean, of course, Ravens Nation, we're happy that Greg Roman's out of there. I thought Raj did an excellent job with what he just talked about, the breakdown of how Greg Roman is, because we the Greg Roman thing, of course, you saw what he did with Kaepernick early on, like you said, but I mean, after a while, that it just gets stale with that offense. So hopefully we get somebody, like you said, that'll cater to Lamar Jackson. We get to sign Lamar Jackson, and then, like you said, Byron, there are a couple wide receivers out there, like you said, Chris Godwin, D Hop is on the trading block. So there are some wide receivers out there that the Ravens could use and could and need to do whatever they need to do in order to bring those guys in. And then through the draft, you can tweak some of those things, like in free agency, such as the secondary or the pass rush, working on the offensive line. So they're right there in contention. But the first thing was getting rid of Greg Roman. Now re-signing Lamar Jackson needs to be the priority.
Cravante, how you feeling? Did you guys keep your offensive coordinator in DC?
Nope, get him out of there. I don't need to see no more. I'm tired of having guys that's related to Ron Rivera. Like this is getting old. This is getting stale. All the characteristics Dre, Raj, and all of us have been saying for Greg Roman, old, stale, and it gets overused. And I think that's kind of where we are at our offensive coordinator position and at our head coaching position. So if the head coach doesn't go, I feel like we're probably going to have the same problems. But me and Byron are going to link up, and I'm going to tell you guys what I think about the offensive coordinator position, who we should go after versus who I think they will actually hire. But Greg Roman, yes, I absolutely had to go. He has, like Raj said, he sees success. He sees a lot of success early, but it's very hard to sustain it. And we've seen multiple, instances where he's has a lot of success and then it just falls by the wayside.
Well, let's look at the divisional round recap. After another weekend of football, we're one step closer to the Super Bowl we had on Saturday. Patrick Mahomes looks like he was going down, but like Ralph says, you can't talk bad about him because he comes right back. They end up beating the Chiefs. The Chiefs beat the Jaguars 27-20. Jaguars had a couple chances, but turnovers did them in. And then Saturday night, was just hammer time in Philly. 30. I mean, I turned the game off before halftime. The Giants came back to earth. Dre, after Saturday's action, how you feeling, brother?
That was an ass what the Eagles did. I mean, I don't think anybody expected that. I think we thought the Eagles would win, but I mean they slaughtered them boys.
It was bad. It was bad.
So to the point where I think it was to the point where we were thinking like, okay, maybe Daniel Jones might be the guy to now. Yeah, you may want to look elsewhere, like type of behind whooping that the Eagles put up on them. The Eagles look like how they looked at the beginning of the season, but even better. So I'm we'll do our picks in a little bit, but the Eagles look damn good. And then what was the other Saturday game? Was the Chiefs and Jags. Um, I mean, right now, whew, in the AFC, I mean, Trevor Lawrence is coming. You already have Joe Burrow right there, Josh Allen, of course, Patrick Mahomes. Those are going to be the guys where they think that, those are going to be the four faces of the league in the AFC. But of course, in Ravens Nation, we gonna always say our guy needs to be right in the mix. Lamar Action Jackson, the MVP. So I'm hoping that Lamar stays so that way he can be in that mix of the AFC quarterbacks. But this will be a matchup for years to come, though. Jacksonville and Kansas City.
Go ahead, Raj.
The first game was competitive. I believe that the Jacksonville Jaguars had a chance. They was always a game because they're the comeback kids, and they find ways to win. But as Kansas City always does, even when the tribal chief is limping, he finds ways to win games. And I expected them to beat the Jaguars. I expected them to make it back to the AFC Championship game for the fifth time in a row. This is what they
look
do.
at you and your Booker T.
No, I'm not doing all that. But yeah, they deserve to get back because they're the cream of the crop of the AFC and have shown it for the past 5 to 6 years. So shout out to them. Jacksonville made a huge jump. I didn't expect them to make the playoffs and win a playoff game. So that's big for them going into the off season. But shout out to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now this second game, I was at Applebee's. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna watch the whole game, and I'm just gonna eat. Because they got the
endless. What you got? The boneless, man?
Yeah, the endless boneless wings. You know what I'm saying? So I was there from the start of the game, and I was like, this gonna be a good game. So, as soon as I got my first order, it was already 7-0. I was like, all right, Eagles scored. Then they got the turnover. He scored 14-0. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. then I got an order of wings and a boneless wings, and then I was like, damn, it's 21-0 now. I was like, you know what? I was like, Byron, that's when I texted you. I was like, Byron, I think I'm gonna get these tickets now. You know what I'm saying? So by halftime, I was up out of there. So I got them tickets, those Ant-Man tickets, and it was a complete disgraceful ass whooping, man. Like you said, Dre, it was terrible to watch, but it also made me think, man, if we can get if the Ravens offense can get like that, it would be amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that Jalen Hurts can do, Lamar Jackson can do.
Oh, definitely.
He just needs the proper pieces around him, to execute something like that. But, phenomenal performance by the Eagles, man. They're on another level right now, especially when Jalen Hurts is in there. And they sunned the Giants. They went out there and they kicked the crap out of them. They did what they were supposed to do. And the Giants, that's another team that overachieved this year as well. Made the playoffs, won a playoff game. Beat the Vikings last week. And, Brian Dable should be the coach of the year because nobody saw this coming. And they didn't have any wide receivers. And Daniel Jones he's not the greatest quarterback there is. But he's okay if he's used properly. But yeah, man, shout out to the Giants also, man, because that's another team that shouldn't even been in this position, but yet they were in it, and the Eagles had to slaughter them.
Go ahead, Cravante.
Where to start? So a couple of trends, and I meant to get Ralph's take on it. Two things that have been constant the entire year, and the Kansas City Chiefs do not cover their spreads. They just don't. And I don't know what it is. They just don't cover their spread. So I knew Kansas City was going to win, and I knew it was going to be a one-score game because Kansas City, they don't have the defense to blow anybody out, unfortunately. And yes, Trevor Lawrence has arrived, but he needs a couple more weapons on his offense. He needs a number one guy and maybe a tight end. And Trevor's gonna take off because you see what he's doing with what he has now. And so yeah, I think he solidified. I think Trevor Lawrence solidified himself as one of the top quarterbacks in this league and got a playoff win before Justin Herbert. Isn't that funny?
Wow.
But the injury to Patrick Mahomes is concerning. Because he was out for, I want to say, a quarter in that game.
Yeah, about a quarter.
But unless his ankle fell off, he was going back in the game. So that is concerning, and I think that is the reason why, along with the sharp money that came in, why the odds shifted so hard going into the next game. But Kansas City did what they had to do and handle business. My gosh, the Eagles beat the Giants like they stole something. Like I don't know what other way to put that. I wasn't sure if the Giants were going to score at all, but they did absolutely what they were supposed to do, and they jumped on them early, and they did not let up. It was no all gas, no brakes. That's all it was to Philadelphia. But yes, shout out to Brian Daboll. He should win Coach of the Year because there was no way in hell you could have told me that the Giants were not only going to be competitive, but be in the playoffs and win a playoff game. And actually, the other guy who I thought should get some head coaching votes, Kevin O'Connell, Brian Daboll beat him on the way to going to the divisional round of the playoffs. So kudos to both those young head coaches, but Brian Daboll should definitely get the nod. Sunday, I knew the Bengals were going to win. I knew it.
You did pick them, by the way. You did pick them.
And I was standing there. I was like, damn. I was like, who else picked the Bengals? I was like, I heard a lot of Bills chatter, and I felt like the Bills, two teams. Hey, Dre. I feel like the Bills. I feel like the Bills and the Vikings have been the two most overrated teams all year.
Well, somewhat I agree that they were a little overrated, but I also think the injury bug hurt them too.
I think so. I will say Von Miller not being there does significantly change their defense. So yeah, that's that. But listen, man, they told Josh Allen's it. Josh Allen's supposed to be it. He's supposed to be a top 3 quarterback in this league. He can't put up 10 points at home in a playoff game. You can't.
They want him to be that guy, but he
ain't. He's not it. He's proven time and time again he's not, and that he keeps falling short of the top tier quarterbacks. But yeah, that was a whooping. But again, I felt like Joe Burrow has that persona that, listen, as long as I'm healthy and I'm on this field, we got a shot to win. I don't care who's out there I don't care how many times you shuffle this offensive line. As long as that center hikes me the ball, we got a chance to win. And just like last year, when he had that garbage offensive line, he dragged them all to the Super Bowl. I was not concerned that he was missing 3 offensive linemen. I just wasn't. And Joe Burrow again and again and again, he continues to prove that as long as I'm out there, it's me. It's going to be me. We have an opportunity to win. I believe he has. I think Russell Wilson still holds the record, but for most playoff wins in the first 3 years, I think Joe Burrow has just moved into second place with 5, if I'm not mistaken. And I think Russell Wilson has the most. I think it's 6, if I'm not mistaken. So if he wins the Super Bowl, then he'll have 7. Cowboys at 49ers. Feel like we knew what it was, y'all. We knew what it was. Come on now. We knew what it was. And I'm going to get into it in Goofies of the Week. But
you might as well save that.
Yeah, listen. We knew what it was, guys. I'm going to leave it at that. We knew what it was. We knew what was going to happen. Dak Prescott, the man. I can't believe Skip Bayless was talking that wild stuff. Knowing damn well Dak Prescott's his quarterback.
he's going to talk that wild mess. But I mean, me and you were the two that picked the Bengals. I don't know what it is, but the Bengals just seem to have a lot of these cats' numbers. And it seems like, I'll be honest, I'm going to say right here on the Flood Zone, the team that I think can knock the Bengals, and again, it's a lot of ifs, if Lamar Jackson was healthy, but I think the Ravens would have been that team to knock off the Bengals if Lamar Jackson was healthy. But
or if they just don't jump over the pile at the 2-yard line.
That's why I said if we had Lamar, I think that the Ravens would have been that team, because I just didn't feel like the Bills were that team, and I felt like if the Ravens were to take on the Bills again, the Ravens would have beat the Bills. I didn't feel that confident in Miami. I felt like that was kind of like a fluke game. What happened with the Ravens as well. So we're going to do our picks in a little bit. But the Bengals right now, they just seem like the best team in the AFC, and there's few teams that can knock them off. So, shout out to what the Bengals did. I mean, we talk about Philadelphia. That was another ass whooping. Just because the score was 27-10.
That was a slow one. That was a slow build, though. That was a slow one.
Do not let that one fool you, ladies and gentlemen. That one felt like 47-10. Like, that thing was over. Like, it just didn't feel like the Bills just had anything. And I don't know if maybe there may be time for him to, his seat needs to be warm too, right there with the Buffalo Bills, I think, because at some point you gotta wonder, with all this talent, the media hype and everything, what are they gonna do?
Well, Dre, Brian Daboll leaves, and all of a sudden they take a step back. I think Brian Daboll was a huge loss for them.
Oh, he was.
So, I mean, Ken Dorsey did, all he could, but Brian Daboll had them boys ready, man. Them boys was looking like, awfully, they looked unstoppable. And I think Brian Daboll probably had Josh Allen's ear better than most to have him calm down. Like, he had a lot of boneheaded red zone turnovers. Like, you are self-sabotaging your team by doing that. And as a top tier quarterback in this league, or so the folks say, you got to play better than that. Now, see, if y'all remember when Trevor Lawrence was going down about to go in for the touchdown, and the running back or whoever he threw it to fumbled. Those things happen, and it's like, but we knew that wasn't Trevor Lawrence's fault.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's other guys. If Trevor Lawrence had a better team around him, who knows? He might have took the Chiefs into overtime, and who knows what would have happened. But Josh Allen, the mistakes are on him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're right. But Let me get into it, man. I'm just so disappointed in the Buffalo Bills, man, because I thought this could have been their year, especially after the way they played last year against the Kansas City Chiefs. I was like, damn, they might be able to do something with Von Miller if they get him. And they got him. And he was out for the rest of the year. And it was never the same after that. But also, I mean, they, of course, the Damar Hamlin situation, kind of changed things in the safeties. Because he was already backing up somebody that got hurt, prior. So he's hurt. So their safety position is a little bit, janky as well. And then on top of that, then the weather comes into play, so it's like, on the Bengals.
That should have helped the Bills if anything.
No. It helped the Bengals because they had 3, missing linemen, and it's like, well, everybody's slipping and sliding, so they can't get no traction to get him. So everything played into the Bengals' hands. Honestly, I mean, the Bills' defense was shot. And Josh Allen just played a horrible game. He just wasn't on point, to the point where he was missing Stephon Diggs left and right, and he was pissed off.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Bengals. I mean, it disgusts me because I don't like them, and I think we should have beat them last week. They shouldn't even be in this situation right now. But I gotta say, man, they find ways to win. This was their 10th win or something like that in a row. Like I said before, I knew they was going to win this division.
Yeah, I think so.
I knew they was going to win this division. I figured they was going to win, and I figured they was going to find a way to get on the run. And right now they're back where they belong in the AFC Championship game. Shout out to them. But I'm just disappointed in the Bills, man. I really thought this was going to be their year. But let me transition to these boys. How about them Cowboys? How about them?
How do?
Awful, straight disgusting, straight disgraceful. Every single year we go through this. What's this? The 28th year that they have not, made it to the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl, and it's a gift that keeps on giving. It's like Christmas Day every time they lose, man. and it's always hilarious.
Christmas Day.
It's hilarious and the funniest way of losing, because you already know Stephen A. Smith is, destroyed them today.
Oh, pinky.
With the pinky. And then, you got the people on Facebook, your friends that are Cowboys fans are mourning today. My man Rashawn was at the game, and he's a huge Cowboys and Ravens fan, but he was so disappointed, saying we should get rid of Dak Prescott, yada, yada, yada. But this is what they do every year, man. They have a great team every year on paper. It looks like they can go somewhere. The defense looks pretty good, but it always comes down to the quarterback. It always seems to come down to Dak Prescott. This last 7 years that he's been starting, he's always let them down. And this time he gets beat by a rookie quarterback, which makes it even worse. So, I mean, I don't know what to say, man. The 49ers is a good team. They have all the right pieces. They have a great defense, and they can go places. But Dallas, man, they just find ways to shoot themselves in the foot. And this year was no better than all the rest of the years that they shot themselves in the foot. So shout out to the 49ers going to the NFC Championship game again. And shout out to the Cowboys looking like trash yet again.
Finish out tonight. Make the bloodline proud.
Go ahead, Dre. You want thoughts on the Cowboys real quick?
No, because it was no shocker to me that they lost, but I think it was disappointing that Brock played better than Dak. That Geno against the same team played better than Dak. And when that occurs, it hurts others because Dak got his money, but now same thing with Kirk Cousins. They're looking like the same quarterback. And then it hurts because when you talk about getting your money, that affects somebody like a Lamar Jackson. it goes into that same realm of what happened with Russell Wilson this year, where people are getting paid, but then when we ask you to perform in money time for the amount we're paying you, we're not seeing a return on our investment. So it makes you really wonder about why Jerry Jones. It makes you see things from Jerry Jones's perspective as to why they didn't pay Dak at first. And Dak's a brother. He's a good guy, but at the same time, it's like, well, what are you going to do to show us that you belong in the conversation instead of what keeps happening time in and time out? At least get to the NFC Championship game, because Dallas was favored a lot to at least make it, but now, man, Dallas just time and time again. It's Groundhog Day all over again every year with this team.
Well, Dre, let's go to our game ball, not so game ball, before we get to the picks and get the goofies. Go ahead, brother. I'll start with you, Dre.
All right. I guess my game ball goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean like I said, that was a behind whooping. So they hey, thanks, Paul. For the
Stealing the
Eagles.
church's money.
Hey, I ain't mad at him. But for the Eagles to do what they did, honestly, hats off to them, because I don't think anybody in America saw that coming, and then also solidifying Philadelphia to let people know, they put everybody on notice that no, we are still that team, and that we've improved over the year. My not so game ball would have to go to I'm gonna say the Buffalo Bills right now, because the Bills, it was so disappointing that the game was just so out of reach, and even though the score didn't exactly meet that, it still was disappointing that the Buffalo Bills, because I thought this would have been the best game, especially coming off of what happened with Monday Night Football. It's the playoffs. These are supposed to be two AFC juggernauts, and it was not a juggernaut. If anything, one team got the juggernaut,
It was one-sided.
and at home. That's the disappointing thing too. You at home, trash.
Trash.
Go ahead, Raj.
Right. Well, my game ball
I
goes
had to
to
say it like Ed Reed, man.
my game ball goes to Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. They say that he's calm in the pocket. Debo Samuel likes him very much, and he just has the swag to him. And he's been playing phenomenal since he became the starter. So Brock Purdy, the rookie, Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the 2022 draft, is gets my game ball, man, because he's just that dude right now. My not so game ball has to go to the New York Giants. Although they made it to this point and they shouldn't have been here, they still should have performed a little bit better than what they did on Saturday night, because they've seen the Eagles 2 times already. So you know their tendencies, you know what to expect, but yet you still get slaughtered like you never seen them before a day in your life. And that was extremely just very disappointing. So the New York Giants get my not so game ball for not even showing up on Saturday to even play.
Start low and high, Cravante, baby.
Cowboys. I don't see how we get around this. It's the Cowboys. I'm gonna leave it there. It's the Cowboys, and there's many different points to why it's the Cowboys, but I'll get into it a little bit later. Gosh, man. Now on the game ball side, I mean, it's a couple to choose from, but I'm gonna give it to Jalen Hurts. I'm gonna give it to Jalen Hurts coming back from injury and completely washing the Giants very, very early. I think he had 2 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown, like before the Giants even scored, before the Giants even thought about scoring. I believe they dropped 27-28 on their head, and we could just tell, like, yeah, this game's out of reach. But Jalen Hurts coming back, looking good, and great timing, because they're going to need him next week. So this was a great tune-up game for Jalen Hurts.
All right, let's get to the picks. Dre, you got the recap from last week?
Yes. So for the picks, Cravante and me both went undefeated, and you and Unc went 3-1. So
Kill him. Small sample size. We kill him, y'all.
3 p.m. 49ers Eagles NFC Championship game on Fox.
Shout out to Byron, because you did call the Eagles at the beginning of the year, and it has a great chance at happening. But I think I'm looking for a rematch of a couple years ago between the 49ers and the Tribal Chief.
Those are your picks?
Now, I am concerned because the only person that has beaten Patrick Mahomes consistently has been Joey Badass. So if it happens, by all means, I understand. I get it. But I've been known as Patrick Mahomes ship for quite some time now, and whatever happens. I'm going down with my guy.
And sadly enough, brother, I'm going to go down with you. I'm picking the Tribal Chiefs to finally get that first victory against these guys in a long time. Although I'm not really feeling favorable of it. But I just think that the Chiefs this is their time to get back to the Super Bowl. And I think that the Bengals, somebody got to beat them, man. Somebody got to beat this damn team, man.
Somebody got to beat them.
Somebody got to beat them, man. But it was
supposed to be us.
It will surprise me.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
But I'm picking the Chiefs. For the second pick, this is kind of a tough one. Although I know last week Byron picked the Cowboys because of Brock Purdy. I just think this is too much for him, man. I think this matchup is too much for Brock Purdy, man. Now he's gotten this far. I don't think I've ever heard of a rookie quarterback, especially the last pick, getting to a Super. I don't see that happening, man. I just do not see that happening. It could, and it would probably be the first ever, but I just don't see that. I think the Eagles got too much firepower. The defense is just as good as the 49ers is. And they got something to prove, man. So I think they make it to the Super Bowl.
Okay. I really want to pick the 49ers, but Byron, I'm ready to gas up the car, brother, and go to Philly again, man. So this is what I maybe it's because I'm hungry for a cheesesteak or something. But Cravante, you know.
Let's ride.
Well, yeah, I was about to ask you.
We can ride to Philly.
I'm gonna pick the Eagles, but I'm so tempted to pick the 49ers because that's a compelling story. But I think it would be really a good matchup though to see Jalen Hurts and the Tribal Chiefs. But I'm picking the Eagles and the Bengals to represent in the Super Bowl.
Bengals, okay, that's different.
I mean, I'm gonna stick with the Eagles because I did pick them for the season. AFC, the Bengals have not lost to the Chiefs, but Mahomes is hurt. But Mahomes hurt is still better than every other quarterback healthy. So, and they can run the ball. I just think Cincinnati's got to lose at some point. I'm gonna go Chiefs, Eagles for now.
All right, so most of us are picking the Eagles and the Chiefs, with the exceptions of Cravante picking the 49ers and me picking the Bengals.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Well,
it is.
Cravante, You ready to get goofy, my brother, before we get out of here?
Man, I need to see this goddamn video. Hold on. so many things. But yeah, let's do it. Goofy's early.
Oh gosh, something wrong here.
Goofy,
Cavante,
I'm so glad. I'm so glad he was able to make it. Because I think he came towards the back end last week, and he jumped out there. He jumped off the roof early this week. So welcome, good people, to Goofies of the Week, sponsored by the Flex Zone. Appreciate you guys for giving me a little bit of time to let me tell the people what I thought was goofy this past week. For those of y'all that don't know, I have 2 levels of goofiness that I deal with. Low level goofiness, which doesn't get that much play, especially in the playoffs. Well, actually, I guess I could talk about Mike McCarthy stiff arming that cameraman because he didn't want the camera in his face. That was that was pretty funny. But given what just transpired, I really ain't trying to talk to nobody either. So there's that. But that's my low level goofy, something that's just funny. We laugh, we kiki, and we leave it there in the hopes that it does not turn into anything bigger or higher on the goofy ladder. We have the high level goofiness, which is the one I will be getting into. Usually something egregious, something that has to be talked about. We got to congregate about it. We got to figure out what's going on in an effort to make things better, or we might just leave it alone because it's a consistent thing that keeps happening. Just like the Dallas Cowboys. My gosh. You know, all right, so there's a couple things that's going to be a guarantee in our lifetime. You know, they say taxes. Unfortunately, we're all going to meet our end at some point, so death. And God damn it, Dallas losing when they're at their highest, man, I tell you. And especially in that damn divisional game, because they are allergic to the NFC Championship game. They have not been in, I lost count. It's almost 30. Has it been 30 years? 28? How
it's slowly approaching.
28 years. 28 years.
28 since 95. And I don't know why nobody should be surprised. I say it every single year. We read the book every year. We watch the movie every year. Hell, at this point, it's a TV show, and we still know the ending. I just don't understand. But oh boy, How much money he making? Paul. Okay, Paul. Dak got $95 million in 2 years. This your quarterback, Dallas? This your quarterback? He's I'm not gonna say he's garbage. He's average. I'm gonna be nice about it and say he is average. He is in that class, same class I put him in. I put them all in. Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff. They're all in that average category. Like, you can win with them, but you're not gonna win big with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have clear limitations and they have a clear ceiling. Dak Prescott, for Dak Prescott to come to be where he's at from the 4th round is amazing. And even come back after that, even to come back after that injury and still get paid, he's making life-changing money from a 4th round pick. That is an amazing feat. But God damn it, you are not an elite quarterback. And I just don't think elite quarterbacks, I don't think average quarterbacks should make elite money. And unfortunately, that's the situation that the Dallas Cowboys are in. They have an average quarterback making above average, or dare I say, elite level money, and he can't get them over the hump. He needs to have a top-notch offensive line. He needs to have a top-notch running back. He needs to have 1 or 2 top-notch weapons and a top-notch defense, and still won't make it out the divisional round. I don't think he'll ever have a team as good as he did when he had the that Dallas team. I believe it was his rookie year, if I'm not mistaken, when him and Zeke were rookies, and they were absolutely running wild on everybody at that point. But Dak, the last 8 weeks have had like 10 or 11 interceptions. It's absolutely absurd. It is absolutely absurd, and it just goes to show you that the quarterback, because obviously the most important position on the field is the quarterback, but he's got to be it. And Dak Prescott is just not it. He's not clutch. He's not going to do enough to put you over the top. He is how they say, a game manager at best. And the ultimate game manager plays for the 49ers. And that brother, Brock Purdy, outplayed this guy that's on his here screen. And it's so crazy because guys are so hyped after they beat Tampa Bay, a terrible, terrible team. Yes, led by the GOAT, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. But God damn it, they were awful. Even Tom Brady was awful as well. And they beat a bad team. Unfortunately, Dak Prescott chose that game to have the best game of his career instead of the following game in the divisional round against the 49ers, who they had a second rematch, and they lost all the same. Just a different location time. But on top of them losing, which they had a bunch of opportunities to win, but Dak Prescott got average quarterbacks can't turn the ball over and win. Let's just say that. Oh boy. Oh no, bring it back, Raj. I believe that was I think that was Jerry Jones in that very racist photo. There it is. That's also part of the reason why that is also part of the reason why the Cowboys will remain where they are. Come on. It's not switching, but yes, that is Jerry Jones, and there the bow. That is part of the reason why the Cowboys would not prosper as well. But man, I just gotta go to the video. I have to go to the tape. Now, I will say Dak Prescott did throw a very early interception, which was an indication and foreshadowing of how this game was going to end. Not only did he throw one, but he threw another one. But even when it's like they still got a glimmer of hope, the Cowboys find a way to shut out their own lights. Now, let's find it. Give me 1 second. Because this was absolutely absurd from what I saw. No, come on. Here it goes. Come on, baby, load. All right, here we go. The hell is going on here? What the hell was that? Look at it again. Who's that? Is that Ezekiel Elliott hiking the ball and getting ramroded? Yep, right there. Yep, right there. Yep. All the offensive linemen are lined up like goofies, and they got Ezekiel Elliott. Dude just got ramroded. What was that? What was that? But it's only right because that's the Cowboys season. that how that ended is so appropriate to to how the Cowboys season should end. A very, very, very goofy way. Very goofy way. Ain't no word on the street is they practice that play. They practice it. And I'm just thinking, what did you think you were going to accomplish? What did you think you were going to accomplish with that? Oh no. Oh, am I back?
Yeah, take your time, brother. Take your time.
Woo! All right. Woo! I'm back.
Like a black preacher. Take your time.
It's all good. I'm wrapping up this sermon. But God damn it. Let the Cowboys will always be the Cowboys. That's just what I want all of those who are listening to take away from this. The Cowboys will always be the Cowboys. As long as Jerry Jones is the owner, GM, and the puppet master, it doesn't matter who the head coach is. Honestly, it doesn't even matter who the quarterback is. They're going to find a way to jack this up. And unfortunately, they're paying the wrong people all this money. But that's how I'm going to leave you guys. Y'all know my line. There's a thin line between goofy and great. And the Dallas Cowboys. What they do every year around the same time. On the wrong end of it. Got to do better, guys. Or you can just stay the same because this is fun watching every year. Like Rod said, it's like it's Christmas all over again.
Gosh, something wrong here.
Thank you for that, Cavante, for Goofy of the Week. I know we didn't talk about this on air, but real quick, Ravens, 30 for 30, February 5th, Bullies of Baltimore. We'll be watching that and talking about it on the show.
So hopefully Shannon
I can't
will
wait.
nobody like he did on Friday night. But it should be a good documentary to watch. I want to see, what they add to it. Because I've seen the one on NFL Network before when he had their, I think, hour special back in the day. So I'm pretty sure they'll, have a very updated version. We also get to see the Goose, because the Goose was able to be a part of it before he passed away. So yeah, this probably the last time they ever do something for the 2000 Ravens. So I can't wait to watch it.
Agreed.
It's going to be lit. And now we get to relive arguably the best defense of all time.
Yes, February 5th, we will be watching. And this Saturday, we're looking for one of our largest live streams of the year. It is time for the Royal Rumble, the kickoff to WrestleMania season. We'll be live watching each and every match with you, as we always do here in the Flex Zone Palace. We'll try and pack it out. Dre, will you be with us? I know Roger will be with us.
I'll chime in.
What you looking forward to, Dre, real quick? What you looking forward to?
I'm a little disappointed. Ralph said that Cody would probably win it because I was really rooting for The Rock, so that way I could just go back to, LA. But I mean, I'm curious, and I forgot to ask. We forgot to ask Ralph about some of these odds for the women's matchup, like who's going to win the women's Royal Rumble.
Naomi.
And I think that I'm kind of looking forward. That would be dope if it was Naomi. I'm looking forward to this dark match between LA Knight and Bray Wyatt. I wonder, is it going to give me that boiler room brawl type of feel? So I'm kind of curious to see what's going on with that situation. Not looking forward to really Alexa Bliss and Bianca Belair, or if Charlotte is going to face Sonya Deville. I don't think nobody cares about that one either. And of course, the Tribal Chief and Kevin Owens. What's going to happen is they finally going to pull the trigger with Sami Zayn or is he going to turn his back on the bloodline? I'm curious to see the angle that the WWE goes with, because they did say that there were some rumors that the storyline that they scrapped it with the bloodline. So let's see.
Raj will be here all week. What do people need to do if they're watching it, brother?
Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Check out some of our other videos, especially if you're Ravens fans. We got plenty of content on them. One of the Commanders content video coming very soon with Cavante and Byron. Probably a Royal Rumble preview coming down the line as well. AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, as always, with the crew. And like you said, on Saturday we're gonna do the Royal Rumble live. So stay tuned, man. Check in with us. Things we doing big things.
Yep. Vote on the poll, hit the like button, hit the bell, make sure you subscribe. Dre, how can they start their day with you each and every day on WEAA? Cup of Dre.
Hey, you can catch me Good Morning Baltimore from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. 88.9 FM. Of course, doing the Flex Zone Sports Report. I did one today. Wednesday, I'm hoping to do another one. And then, of course, Mondays at 10 p.m. right here on the Flex Zone. And check out our Sports and Blackness series coming up. And also another hand clap for our man Ralph, who broke down those Vegas odds for us. That's what we do. We give you sports how you want it, when you need it.
Next week, we'll be talking recaps from the AFC and NFC Championship games, and probably the discussion of the All-Star starters, as they will be revealed on Thursday evening. Show is executive produced by Andre Melton, senior producer Cavante Hurd, associate producer yours truly, and our social media producer Big Raj. As he said, tons of videos on the channel. Lakers, Ravens. I gave you 10 people the Ravens should go for offensive coordinator. Got AEW, we got Royal Rumble. Lots of information coming Saturday. If you want to join us, let us know. Only place, fellas, giving you sports how you want it.
When you need
it.
Sounds like a plan. Paul, we're going to get you somebody to talk WNBA on the Sports and Blackness series. We're hoping for some big guests. We're hoping for some big names. So coming soon. We'll let you guys know about that as well. Join us Saturday for Dre, Raj, Cravante, myself, and of course, once again for Ralph. Flex On Podcast. We'll see you guys next week for 378. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to know when all the videos drop. And we're live on Saturday, y'all. Have a great night. Peace.
Peace. We the ones.